Today I'm going to show how to make the almost no knead bread from the America's Test Kitchen cookbook. I'll leave a link to this below in the description. I'll also leave a list of the ingredients, and then to get the recipe you'll just have to follow along. A couple things to mention before we get started. This does take 8 to 18 hours to rise, so you'll need to do it either really early in the morning, or I usually do it the day before. Alright, let's make some bread. First I'm going to start with the dry ingredients. We already have 3 cups of flour in here, and to that we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of yeast, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and then we're going to mix these dry ingredients together. Then after this we'll add our wet ingredients, and those are 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of water at room temperature. Also 1 tablespoon of distilled white vinegar, which I just put in here in this water to make it easier. And we're also going to add 6 tablespoons of any lager. Then we're just going to mix it up until it turns to a shaggy dough. You'll see that'll happen pretty quickly here. All right. That's it. And then we're going to cover this with plastic wrap and let it sit for 8 to 18 hours. Throw the plastic wrap and then let it wait 8 to 18 hours. Or overnight. I've let it go to 24 hours. It's not a big deal if it goes longer. Okay, after letting your dough rest, mine's rested for about 18 hours, we're gonna dump it out on a floured work surface. Just gonna flour your area a little bit. Then we're gonna dump it out and knead it. No, you don't need to knead it a lot. It is no knead bread. The recipe states 10 to 15 times. Just till it comes into a nice ball like that. And then you're going to take the edges and pull them in to make a nice ball. And you get a nice ball. You can also do, it'll stick to the counter a little bit, and if you shove your hand under and twist, you can get the ball nice and tight. And then next, I'm going to put that on a sheet of parchment paper. And then you take that parchment paper and put it in any heavy bottom cast iron or any deeper dish will work. And then I'm going to put some plastic wrap on this and let it sit for another 2 hours or until it doubles in size. Alright, this is the bread after it's risen. It'll rise slower or cooler depending on how cold or hot it is in your house. It's pretty cold in my house, so it's been a little over 2 hours to get here. And then we're going to take any kind of sharp knife, ideally a razor blade like this, and cut a little slit in the top. You don't have to do this step, but it'll give you that nice mark. And you can even do like designs, or you can do whatever you want in the top. And you'll see these will end up puffing up, and you can see whatever you cut now at the end. And hopefully you'll get to see that later. And then we'll put it in the oven. All right, now you're gonna put your bread in the oven that's preheated to 425 degrees. You'll go a half an hour with the lid on, and then you'll take the lid off. And I'll show you what it looks like after the half an hour. All right, it's been a half an hour at 425. We're gonna take it out of the oven. Take the lid off. You can get a little look at where we're at right now. And then we'll put it back in for another 20 to 30 minutes, or until it reaches 210 internal temperature. All right, now we're gonna take it out of the oven and check the temperature. It should be about right. I just checked it a moment ago. I'm gonna check the temperature. You just want to check the temperature. It's about 210. That's perfect. So now we're just gonna let it rest for a while, and then we'll cut it open and see what it looks like. All right, it's been cooling down a little bit. Let's slice it open and see what we got. It looks pretty good. You can see our slice down the middle and our smaller little slices. You can do whatever kind of design thing you want. How I usually cut these is we'll cut it right down the middle. You can see it's so hot, all the steam coming out of it. Right, I don't know, look at that. It looks good, so I usually cut it down the middle, and then I'll stand it up on the end and cut some slices in it. And then they're nice and fluffy, airy, squishy on the inside, crunchy on the outside. All right, here we got some of our bread. It's just got some butter and some salt. Let's give it a try. It's nice and soft. You can even see it's lots of air pockets and bubbles. It's great. Alright, this will be the end of the video. I hope if anything you take out of this, if you've made it to the end, is it's really not that hard. This is the best bread recipe I've ever made, but it's also the simplest. So I hope you try this at home. Anybody can do it. No fancy tools, basic ingredients. Mix them yourself.